So last week I said I was really looking forward to this, and I was really interested to see which way they were going. And they've gone in a prequel-sequel way, because this is kind of a sequel to last week's. The beginning follows on directly where we left off in part 1, and then the rest of the movie, by the very, very end, is a flashback. So it's a prequel, really, to what we saw last week in part 1 of Fear Street. And usually in a sequel you go bigger, bolder, gorier. So I wanted to know whether they were going to go in that direction. I can confirm that they do not. Nobody dies in this for the first 45 to 46 minutes or so. So we're at the midpoint before we even see any deaths. And then there's only maybe about 6, 7 on-screen kills. And most of them are nothing to really write home about. But what we do get is a lot of lore. This is just a lore film. So we learn about the witch. And I was really down for that. I'll be honest, I think this is just as good as last week's film. By one thing. Last week had some really, really great characters. I enjoyed all of the characters. I wanted them all to live. I can't say that about this week's cast. I was wrong. This is an entirely new cast, an entirely new set of characters. So it's not like a traditional anthology where you have the same cast playing different characters every week. It is a more traditional sense, a sequel in that these are new characters and a new set of cast, but they're not as interesting or as likable as last week. So that is the only problem I had with this. It's far slower than last week. As I say, the first half to 2/3 there is very little going on. It's setting up the characters. It's setting up more of the through story with the witch. And at first I was thinking to myself, I think this might only be a 3-star film. But then that last act, there's quite a bit of gore, which, I like, and it beautifully sets up the third film with a twist ending. So I'm going to give this 3.5 stars out of 5. Really enjoyed this. If you're a fan of 1970s slow build camp slashers, you're going to love this one.